Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a Dreamers Pro podcast special, a podcast only show. This is a clip of today's show. To listen to the full show, make sure you go to Spotify or iTunes and look for the Dreamers Pro show. Today, we have a lot of interesting things that we want to talk about. Okay, we have a lot of different things. We're going to be recapping what happened in the week with Shannon Sharpe potentially joining ESPN. We're also going to talk a little bit about Colin Cowherd and him calling out, and Dan Le Batard calling out Colin Cowherd. But I want to start off with a topic that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. I think is also going to piss off a lot of people. And I said to myself, hey, this is the absolute reason why we need to produce this show, without a doubt. Without a doubt, because it seems like there are a lot of people out there that dislike the fact that I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan and I give him his props. Now, recently, we put up a poll on our channel where we essentially asked the audience, how many points do you think Kobe Bryant would score in today's NBA? That was the question we put up. I don't think it was anything complicated. I actually thought it was a rudimentary question. I didn't think it was anything that was going to confuse people. The question simply was, if Kobe Bryant played today, what would he average? And I gave the audience four options: 40 points a game, 37 points a game, 35 points a game, and 30 points a game. Out of the 10,000 people that voted, would you believe that 19% of those people believe that Kobe would average 30? Which to me is absolutely astonishing, which proves that we absolutely need to produce a show like this. Because it seems like a lot of people are either misinformed or totally confused about the matter. 32% of these people said that they thought he would score 35, because Kobe did that in 2006. 21% of them said 37, and 28% of them said 40. 40 points. Now, let me give you guys a systematic breakdown as to why I believe Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan are the only two NBA players that could average 40-plus points a game in today's NBA. Let's get into it here. In the 1986 season, Michael Jordan, in that season, averaged 37.1 points per game on 48% shooting. That's what MJ averaged in 1986. Would you believe that there's a crop of NBA fans that are actually unaware that Michael Jordan had a scoring season like that? Would you believe that? Yes. Jordan scored 37.1 on 48% shooting. Now, this is the part where this particular show begins to get really, really freaky and spooky. Here are some interesting facts about Jordan that season. As you guys know, we are currently in the three-point era. In the three-point era, where teams are attempting well above 35 threes a game. In that season, Michael Jordan scored 37 points while only attempting 0.8 threes a game and only made 0.1. To translate that into a number that maybe some people will understand, that season Jordan attempted 66 threes. Do you know how many he made? He made 12 threes on the season. 12 threes on the season. And the man still scored 37.1 points a game that year. Which to me is absolutely incredible. If Jordan had only attempted, let's say, 4 threes a game or 1 3-point shot a quarter, that would probably give him an additional 3 to 6 extra points a game. An additional 3 to 6 points a game, which would easily push MJ over the 40-point per game scoring line in a season. You see, because when Jordan was scoring all of those points, the NBA was a different game. It wasn't a run and gun game, number one. Number two, there were a lot of traditional bigs, which means that the spacing that you have right now, where you see the 4-man flaring out to the 3-point line, the 5-man in some cases flaring out to the 3-point line, which gives you an open lane. When Jordan was playing, you didn't have that. And oh, by the way, he did that in a much more physically taxing era in the NBA, which makes this era look like the cupcake era, the bubblegum era. The bubblegum era. If Jordan played in this particular NBA, he would abuse these dudes. He would abuse these dudes. Let me give you guys some more information and some more stats and things you need to consider. Here's something else you need to consider. In the 1998 season, which was the last season of the Chicago Bulls' last dance, that run, that year, those Chicago Bulls, as a team, attempted 14.13 point attempts a game. 14.1, that's what teams were attempting back then. Today, teams are attempting 35. And some teams are attempting over 40 threes a game. Those teams would be the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. Go look it up. Those teams last season attempted above 40 threes a game, which basically translates into about 10 three-point attempts a quarter. Now, here's another thing one needs to consider. We need to consider the pace. We need to consider the pace of the game. Now, for those of you who are wondering what exactly is the definition of pace, pace is essentially how many possessions teams get in 48 minutes. That's essentially what that particular data point tracks. To listen to the full show, make sure you go to Spotify or iTunes and search the Dreamers Pro Show. Thanks for listening.